Welcome to the Little Beading Closet. I'm Sherry. Today's tutorial is for the rectangular beaded bezel. I hope that you enjoy it, and I wanted to let you know how much I appreciate all the lovely comments you've been leaving on my videos. It really inspires me, just as I hope my projects inspire you. Make sure you check out the description below to see where I purchased my beads and also other places I found that you can check out. Sometimes as a beader, you just find beads that you really love. So I found these rectangular shaped laser etched glass beads, and it looks like they're by Raven's Journey. I've seen them at the time of publishing this video on Art Beads, Beadaholique, Lima Beads, and all over Etsy. I took one and we're going to make a bezel for it, and then you can take it and make a pair of earrings, use it as a pendant on a necklace, incorporate it into a bracelet. So we'll work with this today, and I'll show you how to make the bezel for it. I want you to be successful in creating this bezel. So we're going to be doing it with 3 different colors of delicas. I'm going to use the pink for the top and bottom, the red for all the corners, and the gold for the sides. We'll also need some size 15 seed beads in the last step to cinch it in, just here along the edge. You're going to need a size 12 beading needle, and today I'll be using 5 feet of wildfire and black. It will make it easier for you to see as we work on this project. And at the end, like I said, we'll need some size 15s to cinch in. And so I went ahead and pulled out coordinating colors of 15s for all of my delicas. And since we won't need those to the end, I'll leave those out for now. So let me turn over this existing piece and we can get started. You begin by making an inner rectangle of beads. And what we'll pick up are 7 of the gold color for the side. So let me get 7 of these on my needle. And then for the corners that I'm doing in red, we'll need 1 red to start. The top and bottom are the pink. We'll need 1 pink and 1 more red. So we have the gold for the side, 1 red for the first corner, 1 pink for the top, and 1 red for the other corner. Now we're going to pick up 7 more gold for the other side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then we'll have our bottom corner, the bottom here, in this corner. So we'll need 1 more red, 1 pink for the bottom, and 1 more red for our other corner. I'm going to pull all these onto my thread near the end. I'm going to leave a little bit of a tail, but not much. Just enough that I can weave it in at the very end to secure the piece. We're going to turn this into a circle by needling through 3 of the gold beads. So come through the first 3 beads you added. Hang and then pull your thread all the way through. And we've turned it into a little circle. We'll have to add a few more beads to get the rectangle shape started. So now we're going to peyote like you would with a regular bezel. We're going to work on this side first. So coming out of this delica here, skip the next one and needle through the one past it. And as with any peyote stitch, you want these two to sit side by side. Sometimes it's the first one that's the hardest to get going. There we go, they're sitting side by side. Pick up one more delica, skip the next one, and you'll be going into the very last gold on the side. And pull your needle through. So here we're at the red delica, and that's a corner, just like in our example piece here. Now what we're going to do is pick up two red beads for the corner, and sorry, I had to adjust my glasses. Skipping this red bead, come into the pink one, which is your top, pulling it through. And if you've done herringbone stitch, you'll see that these two delicas that you just put in kind of sit in that shape. For this next corner, again, two of your corner color beads. I'm using red. Skipping over the red bead, needle into the first gold on the side. And mine just popped right into that herringbone shape all on their own. I'm going to flip my piece over, a little easier for me to bead away from me. So now we're just going to peyote up this side by skipping one bead and needling into the next. So picking up a bead for the side, skipping one, coming into the next. And again, picking up one bead, skipping a delica, and coming into the next, which will be the very last gold one before your corner. And go ahead and pull that through. Now that we're up here to the corner, we're going to be picking up two of our delicas for the corner, skipping over the corner bead and going into the top bead here, the pink one. I'm going to pull this through. Hopefully they'll sit in a little herringbone shape. Popped right in there. Again, for this corner, you're picking up two delicas, skipping over the red bead, come into the first gold one, or your first side. Now we're going to continue with our peyote stitch until we're ready to step up. So we're coming out of this one, skipping one, and into the next. And this is where our step up is. So if you want to do both on the diagonal at the same time, it might not look completely like a rectangle yet. Once we add a few more rows, it will pull into shape even more. We're exiting the gold here on the side. And go ahead and bring in another one peyote stitch there. You're going to pick up one more side bead and add the peyote stitch and go through the bead on the corner. Now that we're right here, we are going to pick up 2 more of our corner beads. And come into the other side of the corner. We're exiting this one, picking up 2 and coming into the next one. And you want those to sit in a herringbone type shape like our first ones did. Go ahead and pick up 1 for the top and go into your next corner. Right now, that's where we're at. So we're going to need 2 for our next corner. So we're coming out 1 of the corner beads. We have 2 on our needle, and we're going into the next corner bead. Again, get this to sit in a herringbone shape. This one says, nope, don't want to do it. So then you coax it with your fingers. Sometimes just put the needle between the 2 beads and it makes them pop right into place. So let's continue up this edge with our side color. So we have, I'm on my second peyote stitch on this edge side, my third peyote stitch on this side, and just 1 more, the 4th, and come into the red corner bead here. Again, pick up 2 more of your corner beads. Coming out this one delica of the corner, go into the other one with the 2 on your needle. Get those to sit in a little herringbone right here. I think I'll have to coax those. I like them to sit as neatly as possible. They're still not wanting to. There we go. Oh. They'll get there. Just be patient. There we go. Almost. Voila. Now they're happy. Pick up 1 for your top. Come into the next corner. Again, putting 2 delicas in your corner. Right through here. I picked up 3. Oh my, let's take that off. As you're working on the 2 delicas you're supposed to pick up and get in the herringbone shape of that corner. I will fix this real quick. Just like that. And then continue with your peyote stitch. We're coming up to our step up on the side here. So we have our first peyote stitch of the side. Now we're on our second one, and this is where our step up happens. You can go through both on a diagonal, this one, if possible, or one at a time. So I'm going to take the step up right there. And this is where we're at. We're getting ready to continue around. Continuing along, now that we made our step up, pick up one more of your delicas for the side. Here we're going to increase this on our side, so one more for the side and into the corner. At this corner, we're going to only be picking up one for the corner this time. So coming out of here for the corner and to the other side of it. Just one bead this time. One on the corner, and then we're going to be putting two pinks on the top. Pick up one, come through the center. Again, picking up one and into the next corner. So we're going to continue all the way around with just putting one corner bead on. So we have that, and into the other side of our corner. Picking up a gold for the side, or whatever color you're using, into the first side bead. I go ahead and peyote down the side, picking up a bead and coming into the next sticking out bead. Picking up a bead into the next sticking out. Picking up a bead into the next sticking out. And then this is, again, our side's getting a little bit longer, so we're picking up one more side bead and going into the corner. One way to look at this is now you have one bead, two, you have one side delica, and then 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, and 1. If you want to check your progress, so it's 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 1. We're at the corner that we're just putting one corner bead in. And we need two for the top at this point, so picking up one, going through the middle, picking up one, and coming into the next corner. Now that we're at this corner, you can see that we've even started to lengthen the top, getting a little bit longer. We have one pink, and then two, and then one. So here for the next corner, we're going to go ahead and pick up one, put it here in the corner, now we're going to work our way up the side until we get to our step up. So we're lengthening this side also. We're putting in one delica into here, continue up, one more delica, and this will be our last one before we step up. So we have one on our needle, come into your next delica, and this is where our step up is. So if you can do both on the diagonal at the same time, just like this, we'll be ready to go back around one more time, working on the bezel for our rectangular etched glass bead. And the next round that we're going to do, we're not putting we're not going to be using any corner beads, but we're still on the side. So go ahead and pick up one of your side beads, coming into the last side bead you have, but we're lengthening the sides in this step. So we're picking up one more side bead and coming into this very corner bead. Now for our top, we're going to pick up one for the top, come through the next sticking up top bead. So we're going to be putting 3 on top, one more through the next sticking out top bead. So we're essentially lengthening the top, bottom, and sides this time. So it's our last bead for the top, go straight through the corner. Now that we're on our side, picking up one delica for the side and coming into the first side delica you had. We're going to peyote all the way down. Got my second one in. My third one. So my fourth one. Picking up one delica, coming into the last side delica. And like I said, we're lengthening the sides and top in this step. So pick up one more delica and go straight into your corner. Now we're going to work on the top. Coming out of your corner bead, pick up one delica for the top and come into the next sticking up top bead or bottom. Again, picking up one delica, going into the next sticking up top bead, picking up one more delica and coming into this corner bead. Now we're just going to work our way up the side until we meet our step up. So one side delica into the first sticking out side, one more delica into the next sticking up bead. You can see where our step up is coming up here. So let's continue with one more delica through the next sticking up bead. Now this last delica we're picking up will be the last one as we go into our step up for the next row. So if you can, do both on the diagonal at this point or one at a time. Placing this delica in here on the side, and you're stepped up for the next round. Go ahead and pick up one of your side delicas and exit the last delica on this side before your corner. And in this round, we're going to be picking up 2 corner beads, go over the existing corner bead and into the top. Again, try to get these to sit in a little herringbone, and you might just start feeling it curve ever so slightly, like a little cup on the edge. So go ahead and pick up one more delica for the top. I'm going to put 2 in. We're using 2 for the top in this step. Now on the corner, we're putting 2 delicas. So 2 delicas for the corner. Coming out of your top delica, skip over the corner and come into your first side delica. We're going to continue to peyote stitch down the side. You should probably feel just an ever so slight curve up on your piece as you're working. That's normal. And I'm not pulling extra hard to make it curve or keeping it loose, just a nice even tension as I go along. Adding my delicas on the side. So I'm picking up the last delica I need for my side and coming through the last side delica. Now for the corner, just like we've been doing, pick up 2 delicas for the corner and completely skip over this bead and come into the top. We have 2 spaces. We're going to be adding 2 beads on top. So there's 1. And 1 more. So here we are in the corner. You guessed it, we have 2 beads for the corner. So picking up 2 beads, skip over this corner one and into the side. Now we're going to work with our peyote stitch. Continue up the side until we have our step up. So we're adding 1, 2, 3, and then 1 more, and we'll do our step up right here. So go ahead and come into the 2 on the diagonal, or 1 at a time if you need to, and we'll be ready for our next round. And you can see just ever so slightly it's starting to curve up a little bit. Now we're getting ready to go around again. So pick up 1 side bead and come into the corner. I'm going to put a red bead here in the corner. So on this row, we're just putting 1 bead in our corner, and then across the top, 1 for the top, 2, and then peyote 1 more on the top and into the corner. You'll really feel it starting to cup around a little bit. So again, pick up 1 corner bead, coming out of one side of your corner, needle into the other side of your corner. Now we're going to come along the edge or the side here. So picking up 1 side bead, peyote stitch into the next sticking up bead. You'll see that you have 2 side beads here. Picking up 1 into the next sticking up. So we're going to continue that all the way down. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope that you're enjoying this tutorial. I really love these flat Czech beads and hope that if you have some, now you have something different to do with them. Let's continue along. We're picking up our last delica before we go into the corner. So we're coming into the corner. And for this round, we're adding 1 corner bead. And then we'll do 3 peyote stitches on the top. There's 1, 2, and the 3rd peyote stitch on the top will go into the next corner. I'm going to pick up 1 more delica and come into the corner. Our step up won't happen till all the way down here before the corner. So continue adding down this side, doing the peyote stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 more. And this is where our step up is. If you can get through both on the diagonal, and I cannot, so I'm going to take it one at a time. So your step up happens right here before the corner. You should be looking just like this. It's definitely got a bezel shape going on starting, as you can see. It's going to fit in there just right. But at the point right now, this is what it looks like when you hold it together. It's definitely not high enough on the sides yet. So we're going to have to continue around. As we go around on this time, we're not putting anything in the corner. We're going to go through the corner. So you're adding your side bead and coming straight through the corner. And on the top, we'll peyote stitch through the top with 1, 2, 3, and 1 more for the top, and come straight through the corner. So continue down the side here, adding our stitches. So coming out of the corner, picking up 1 side delica into the first sticking out side delica. Now we're going to peyote all the way down. I'm on my second delica for the side. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and go straight through the corner bead. not adding anything on the corner, just go straight through it. Now peyote the top with our top color. Coming out of this corner bead, picking up one for the top, peyote stitch into the next top bead. Picking up another one, so now that's my second one for the top. It's going to be 4 total. I'm on my third one. And then one more. And go straight through the corner bead again. Now we're going to peyote down the side. So picking up our side delicate and come into the first one for your side. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just bear with me. 6. And this is where our step up is. I don't think I'll be able to get them on the diagonal at this point, so I'll just come through the first one and then step up into the very last one on your side before the corner. So it's looking like this. We'll get our bead out, sit it back in there. I'll let you see what it's starting to look like. It's almost large enough to fit around. We're going to keep going again with another round. On this round, we're going to be picking up 1 bead for the corner and come into the top bead. So we're starting at the corner. Now we're going to peyote along the top. 1, 2, 3, and 1 more. I'm sorry, not the top color. We're on our next corner. So picking up 1 corner bead, coming out of the top, come into your side and put 1 red in the corner. Now I'm going to peyote down the edge. So picking 1 up, coming out the first side bead into the next sticking out. There's 1. You'll really start to feel the bezel shape in your hand. It's really curving up. So let's continue down our side. This is our second one on the side. The third one. The fourth one. The fifth one. Your sixth one, and into this last bead on the side. Exiting this last one on the side, picking up 1 for the corner and coming into the top. Now we're going to peyote along the top 1, 2, and 3. Now we're over here to this corner, picking up 1 corner bead and coming into the side, just like so. Now we're going to peyote up the side. So go into the next sticking out bead. You can really feel this piece wanting to make a nice little bezel as you go around, coming up the side. One more here, and then one more, and come through the last side bead here. So you're exiting just before the red on the corner. I'm going to go ahead and sit my bead in here so we can see what it's looking like. There we go. Okay, so I sat my bead in here so we can see what it's looking like. We just have one more round of delicas to do. I'm going to leave my bead in here as I finish my last round of delicas. We're coming out of this very last edge bead, and I'm going to needle through the existing corner. We won't be putting anything in the corners on this row. We're just needling straight through the corner. We're going to go ahead and pick up 1 bead for the top. We're going to peyote stitch along the top. Three, and pick up 1 more and needle straight through the corner on this step. Now we're going to peyote down along the edge. So coming out of the corner bead, go into the next sticking up bead on your edge, and continue doing that all the way down. Adding a delica. So just adding 1 delica peyote stitch into every sticking up delica along the side. Almost down to the next corner. One more delica and go straight through the corner bead. Again, we're going to peyote stitch the top. You can feel that your bezel is already starting to hold on to your bead a little. Well, quite a bit actually. And continue down here. Going through the corner bead. working on the other side now. You can see that over here we have 2 on each end, 1 sitting on top of the other 2. We need the same over here on this side. So we're going to also peyote down this side. I hope you're enjoying your glass laser etched beads. These are really, I don't know, just something special to me. I really think they're pretty. And instead of just using them as is, I wanted to make a little bezel for it. That way I can incorporate it into a piece of jewelry or make some earrings. Just do something a little different. So here we go, we're picking up a delica, coming to the last sticking up delica, picking up a delica, and this is where our step up happens. We're going to go through the corner, just like so. Oops, sorry, I dropped that. Go through the corner. You can check, you have 2 delicas here, 2 down here, same on this side. Taking a close look at this, you can see that the delicas stick up above the edge of the bead, and we are ready to move on to our 15s. Switching over to the size 15 seed beads, like I said, you're coming out of this corner and now you're going to step up into the first bead along the top. This is where you're going to start adding your size 15s. So you're going to peyote now with those. Pull it in a little bit. Again, through the next sticking up bead, we're adding another 15, another 15 here along the top, so we have 3 15s along the top. We're at the corner. I'm going to pick up a red 15 and sew into the side, and we'll put this 15 into the corner. Now just regular peyote down the side using the 15s. I'll be adding 1, 2, 3, and I'll kind of wrap my thread and direct it towards the middle of the bead, towards this angle, sort of over direct it as I'm going along, just to make sure that it holds the bead in well. I like my bezel to just come along the edge to show as much of the face of the bead as possible. I don't like to bezel too much over the bead. So we're coming down to our last one here on the side. Now again, we're at the corner, so I'm going to pick up 1 red one and come into the first one on the bottom. Now I'm back to the pink. So again, coming through the next sticking up bead on the bottom. Another one. I'll end up putting 3 on the bottom. And the last one of the pinks on the bottom here, just like that. You can see how it's fitting in. One more red in the corner. And then I'm going to come up this final side with my 15s through every sticking up bead. Two. Just continuing along. 3. Again, over directing towards the center of my bead. 4. 5. 6. And here we're at the corner. That's the last bead that we're putting on the faceless bezel, which is a red one. So it's going to go in this corner. We'll go through the corner, or we'll go into the pink on the top. Now we're finished adding our beads around, and it's in here secure. But I like to then take the time, I'll come back through this first 15, and I'm going to make another pass with my thread all the way around the bezel face one more time. And I usually do this on an angle. I'll come into the delicate and the 15 at the same time. Again, over directing towards the center. And I'll repeat this process all the way around my bezel. Here, through the delicate, and the next 15, and this one happens to be the corner. I think that this last final step just really helps keep it together. Make sure it's nice and tight and secure, and that you won't have any problems with it coming out later. So just take the time to go all the way around your bezel one more time. I did the double layer of thread around the faceless bezel that second time, and now I'm just going to needle through some of the delicates to end off my thread. So as long as you're going from delicate to delicate at a diagonal, your thread won't be showing. So we're going to come down a few. If you know for sure that you want to add a bail or something for an earring at the top, you might want to leave your thread for now until you add that. And on the back, you'll want to put your needle on the thread here, and then end off your thread in here. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on making the bezel for this beautiful pressed glass laser etched rectangular bead. Enjoy your beading projects and have a beautiful day.